when he looked at that crowd, the next thing Jesus thought about, I got to have a plan for them. You don't get 5,000 people out in the desert hungry and don't see about it. Because I know how mean folk can be when you got one hungry. And when you're dealing with folk hot, mad, and hungry, you got trouble on your hands. And Jesus said, I got to feed these folk. But before I do, search the crowd. And of course, you know, Andrew's always in the crowd. He's always been the one to bring somebody. Andrew's the one who brought Peter. So Andrew said, there's a lad here. But what did Philip and Andrew get caught up in? The reason why they didn't give no good suggestion. Well, one had his eyes on the cash, one had his eyes on the crowd, and neither one of them didn't have their eyes on Jesus. But Jesus said, what's out there? They said, a lad is out here. It's just a lad. I like this about a lad because the Bible has always used a lad in some cases. Got to understand, when Abraham had to get his test, he had a lad, his own child. That's right. And God tested him with a lad. When Samson got his strength back, a lad led him to the columns of the temple. When he pulled down the column. Are you listening to me? And Jesus has said, it's a lad, bring him here. I love that about children, you know. I got to say something about this boy for a minute. The Bible said a lad was there who had 2 fish and 5 barley loaves. But the Bible said, but Jesus knew what he was going to do when he said, bring me the little boy's lunch. I'm trying to tell you, if you turn things over to Jesus, God has a plan already for you. The Bible said he knew what he was going to do. If you take your situation and turn it over to God, God has a plan for you. Nothing happened and catch God off guard. Whatever you face in your life, God is working to fulfill his plan. And you don't need to ever give up. You don't know what the plan is. God knows what he want to do with your situation. God knows how to bring you out of the situation. God knows how to carry you in a situation. God knows what you're going to learn in the situation. And when he get ready to put you where he wants you to be, it's already in his plan. Somebody here ought to know God knows what he's doing. When he asks you to turn over your lunch, when God said turn it over, he got a plan. You got bills, turn it over. He got a plan. You got sickness, turn it over. He got a plan. You got a bad child acting crazy, turn it over. You got a plan. When God gets through with them, they end up on the deacon board. When God gets through with them, they end up in the pulpit. When God gets through, he'll make a way out of no way. When God gets through, he can turn a desert into a flower garden. When God gets through, he can turn darkness into light. When God gets through, he can take poverty and turn it into wealth. God got a plan. When know what he's going to do with you, he knew what he was going to do. He said, bring me the little boy lunch. I believe the little boy had faith in God. Because what is he doing out there in the desert? Following Jesus with only 2 fish and 5 barley loaves. I think the Holy Ghost talked to the little boy and said, bring your little bit. Because the master is going to need it later on. Because the little boy gave up what he had. The little boy wouldn't hold it. He gave it up. And when I see the little boy at lunch, I see the 4 fundamental operation. Ain't God all right? I see subtraction. I see addition. I see multiplying. And I see division. If you want to be a child of God, you got to take what you got and subtract. Give it up. Give it up to Jesus. And when Jesus get it up, he'll add to it. Am I right about it? And when he get through adding to it, he'll multiply. Am I right about it? And when he multiplies, he'll divide it to everybody. He said, take it and give it to me. The little boy turned over lunch and gave it to God. Why do you turn things over to God? Because God knows how to take a little thing and make it a big thing. God can take a nobody and make him a somebody. God can take your little talent and multiply. But the problem with so many of us this morning, we think it's too little to give it to God. You may not have much money, but turn it over and give it to God. You may not have much talent, but turn it over and give it to God. Subtract. Let him add. Let him multiply. And then spread it out. Divide it. And help somebody else. When he took the little boy to lunch, the boy gave it up. The reason why God can't bless some of you this morning, you won't give it up. You got to give it up. Get it out of your hands. Put it in God's hand. Because God got the best hand. He made the world. Spin it with his hand. With God's hand, he can point you which way to go. With God's hand, he can write on your wall. With God's hand, he can make dry bones come together again. He got the whole world right in his hand. Put it in God's hand. And when the little boy turned it over to Jesus, Jesus said, tell the disciples, sit down. Tell the people, sit down on the grass. Before God can work a miracle, you got to sit down. Sit down. Quit walking the floor over things you can't do nothing about. Sit down when you've done all you can do. Sit down when your enemies are on your trail. Don't fight them back. Sit down when your bills are due and you don't have no money. Sit down. When you sit down, you let God stand up. If you sit down, God will move. If you sit down and let God handle it, your job is to turn it over. God's job is to bless it. You can't bless it. God will bless it. Jesus never asked them to bless that bread. He said, turn it over and then give it out. God will do the blessing. And what I like about Jesus, before he gave it out, he got it from the little boy, sent it up to God. Heaven got through with it, gave it back to Jesus. Jesus gave it to the disciples. That's the way you get your blessing. If you want God to bless what little you got, give it to Jesus. He gives it to the Father, brings it back, and when it gets to you, it's better than what you used to have. When God gets through with the little you got, it's going to look better than what you had. When God gets through working on your body, it's going to be better than what you had. When God gets through with your little nickels and dimes, it's going to be better than what you had. Take it, I said, give it to Jesus, and he will bless it. And look how Jesus blessed it. He blessed it before he gave it out. Sometimes you got to thank God for what you are about to receive. If you take what you got and pray over it and ask the Holy Ghost to bless it, he will bless it before you give it out. Because when God bless it, it turns into something else. When God bless it, the devil can't curse it. When God bless it, your enemy can't stop it. When God bless it, the devil can't crucify you. When God bless it, demons get mad because I'm blessed. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Bless it. Bless my life. Bless my talent. Bless my children. Bless my home. Bless my car. Bless my finance. It ain't much, Lord, but what little I got, take it. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it, Lord. Bless me. Bless me. And he blessed it. Then he turned it over to his disciples. And he told them, sit down. He believes in order. God can't bless you until you get in order. That's why I tell everybody, when you come in church, sit down. Stop walking the floor, because you're going to lose your blessing if you don't sit down. Quit speaking to folk all during church service. It's not fellowship time with sisters and brothers. It's worship time. Speak after church. If you see somebody in church, just squeeze my hand, baby, and don't say nothing. I'm having church now. And if somebody's sitting right beside you, tell them, don't text me now. I'm having church. I don't understand. We can get on the airplane and the pilot can come over and say, fasten your seatbelt, cut off your cell phone. It might interfere with the navigation. You'll cut off your cell phone. You'll shut off your computers. You go in the courtroom and the judge said, cut off your cell phone, because if I see one on, I'm going to take it from you. You'll cut it off, but then you'll come to God's house and text one another while church is going on. You come in God's house and have your cell phone and your beepers going off while church is going on. You don't have no respect for the household of God. But if you want God to take what you got and bless it, you better sit down. Sit down and give God some order. Sit down, because God can't work where there's division. God can't work where we're not on one accord. So listen, Malcolm, whatever you got, sit down. If your child is acting crazy and the children don't want to do right and you've done all you can do, sit down and turn them over in the hand of God. If your husband cussing you out because you're going to church, don't try to argue with him. Sit down and let God have him, and God will change him. If you stay on your knees, if you got a situation and the doctor give up on you and said he can't heal your body, sit down and let Dr. Jesus step in your operating room. I'm like the old mother. She was on the train and the pilot or the engineer and the captain came over the intercom and said, we got danger on this track and we're not sure. The train might jump the track. Everybody started to panic. But an old sister was sitting on the train just humming and wouldn't move. And then the conductor came to the old mother and said, Mother, how come you're not panic? How come you're not crying? Don't you know this train could jump the track? The old mother looked up and said, I am a child of the King, and my Father know his child is on board. And don't you know that whatever you face, God knows when you're on board. God knows how much you can bear. God knows what you're going through. God knows how many times you walk the floor. God knows. He says, sit down, sit down, sit down. Give it over to Jesus and he'll work it out.